Hi, I'm Bella Sapphire, a singer, actress, voice actress, and multimedia artist. I was just interviewed by Keith Andrew, and it was awesome. I love Keith Andrew's channel, so.
Hello, my name is Lici Williams. I'm a YouTuber. I'm actually trying to growing up over my social media. I'm kind of like very new for you guys probably. Some of you know about me, some maybe not, but I'm trying to open up more in social media. This is my interview for KeithAndrewNetWork. I wish you like it and enjoy it. It was really fun for me to do it. Actually, I enjoyed a lot and I wish you guys do the same. So I cheer you up to watching his videos, subscribing and everything, and enjoy it because he does great and perfectly. And thank you so much for watching us.
The whole point of my talk show is to show you that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so prove to them you can still amount to something. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. I'm here with two beautiful women, only here on the one and only Keith Andrew Network that's available on all social medias. If you're watching, definitely leave a like, subscribe. I would like to interact with you. Our beautiful guests would love to interact with the fans as well. And I like bringing people together. Sometimes on the Keith Andrew Network, it's a one-on-one interview. Sometimes it's a double interview. Sometimes it's a group interview. The one thing about the Keith Andrew Network is bringing people together. You're making a new friend, and you're supporting a good cause. After the show, only on TikTok, and yes, I had to do that again. Only on TikTok and Instagram will be to sit down with Keith Andrew. That will be after the show, and anything you want to talk about. So the first subject I want to ask Miss Bella is tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am a voice actress, singer. I act on camera, on stage. Like I do a little bit of a lot of different types of media. And I've been professionally voice acting for 5 years.
Oh, absolutely. What about you, Lici?
Well, I'm actually YouTuber. I'm started like 5 years ago with my channel in YouTube. Actually, in less than a year, I get in like 2K very fast. It was incredible. People really accept me into social media. I'm actually how you say like a model photography. So I do shots, photography model. Actually, last year, 2 years ago, I've been in California with some photographers. Like they were amazing and they do amazing set. Some of the photos is in my social media in, I think it's in Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I have them. And I actually try to get away in TikTok because so many people from YouTube actually cheering me up to be in TikTok and those things. But I'm still very new in TikTok, actually. Get used to more to YouTube, but
Well,
yes,
maybe you can
very
help
much.
us out. I
Yeah,
recently turned to TikTok after a couple of years. For me,
yeah. Actually, I meet great people in YouTube that they know a lot about this kind of world, like influencers or whatever. And it's very interesting, but I still didn't get that big because I've been more focused in my life these past years. But I'm trying to get away again with TikTok, like you see, and I try to get away again with YouTube because when you don't use YouTube for like some kind of time, some period of time, you need like a new access to making videos again. It's something weird that YouTube have, but I'm trying to get my way again.
no, absolutely. So the first subject I'm going to talk to you about, and it's really cool. As we're talking, we have special effects on the screen. The first one I want to ask you is the coronavirus. And Bella, we're going to start off with you. How has the pandemic impacted your life, and do you see things in a different point of view?
Oh, yeah. So I've been actually doing musical theater since I was really little. Um, I don't think I went a year without being on stage and performing. And 2020 was insane because everything just stopped immediately. Any productions I was in, um, anything I was doing tech for, it was like I had nothing. But I was able to focus a lot on voice acting. So that was the big year. I made a lot of investments like that. I got a better microphone and I was able to learn more about that part of the industry.
No, what about actually the first question I want to ask you about that? So I know basically you're in the social media field, so we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about TikTok and YouTube, and Bella, we're gonna talk about the acting area. But actually, the first question I want to ask both of you, but I'm gonna ask it in a different way. Like, give me an example. It's better to show you than try to butcher it, even though I'm really good at that. So, Bella, the first question I want to ask you is, what attracted you to begin your career as an actress in voiceover?
Ooh, it's always been very fun. I think my parents are both very creative and also amazingly supportive. So when I was younger, we would just do voices around the house. We would do impressions of commercials, and they were like, "You can take acting classes if you want. There are a lot of like local theaters if you'd like to try that." And I fell in love with it. So after that, I invested more into classes, and um, I started auditioning for paid roles in 2019, and I actually booked a good amount of those, and I just kind of kept on doing that.
Oh, that's perfect. And at Lici, and if I butcher your name, I do apologize.
No, it's
Eh,
okay. It's Lizzie. Or you can
so,
even say Lucia because it really that's my real name. Let's say Lucy. But people know me Lizzie because of social media, but it's
no, it's
okay.
perfect. It's a great name. So is Bella, by the way.
Thanks.
So don't mind me, I'm a bad flirt. So now the question I want to ask you, sometimes I put my foot in my mouth too, right? Anyway, don't mind me. So the question I want to ask you is the same exact question, but what attracted you to become a social media influencer?
Well, actually, before the coronavirus, I was doing a lot of modeling, a lot modeling. I even work in Barcelona in Spain with L'Oreal Paris. I working with L'Oreal. I'm modeling with them. I actually have some photos in my account in Facebook because it's linked with them account. It was an amazing experience. But once the coronavirus started and all the lockup and everything, I didn't know anything about modeling. It was really hard for me to work in again, like modeling photography or whatever, or even with a L'Oreal or some like a famous marks like that. It was really hard and difficult. It was like, no, no. So I don't know. I tried to give a place to the social media because it was actually really working out. People was staying in the houses all day, bored, some people getting anxious because can't get out and things, how coronavirus was. So people was very focused in social media in that time, in that period of time. So it was very, very, like I started in YouTube times in a not really good time. It was very normal, but once a coronavirus start, my YouTube channel and my social media blowing up, literal blowing up. But I think because that was the thing, like people was in the house bored, couldn't get outside, so people was more bored on and thing, and then they taking more attention to social media. So thanks to that, not because of coronas, but thanks to that, some people we have that great period of time to like growing up in social media, and I'm not gonna say making famous, but like as like more people around you know you more. So I think kind of it was kind of bad for so many people because the lockout, but for others like as me, like I start working out in social media, it was not that bad actually. like I said before. But it was really sad for me because I was really love my job, like modeling photography, and it's been a long time didn't get any more photographers, or nobody's contact me, or I had the chance. So yeah, that was because it was giving me some money, and actually I was wanted to, like, in the future maybe getting more into it, working more into it, more like I don't know, show off clothes or something, I don't know. And now it's getting a little harder from the coronavirus, but well, we're still working out in the social media.
No, absolutely. The one thing I do want to point out is I have a lot of questions. So if you guys keep your answers under between 2 to 3 minutes, so everyone has enough time. I should have said that off the air, but I'm
I just
actually,
want to ask into Bella, once the coronavirus like finish it, let's say like the life start normal, do you feel like your job getting into rail again, or not really? It was not the same anymore from that.
Unfortunately, a lot of theaters that were open before the pandemic weren't able to stay open. So I feel like that
Okay.
has limited some opportunities.
Yeah, okay.
But there are still some around, luckily.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. That because I asking some people about other kind of jobs, let's say, or things, and some people tell me, well, from the coronavirus, nothing is the same, But some people actually say like you, like, well, something's changed, but not that much. So that's why I was curious about your job, because it sounds really interesting, but I didn't know maybe changed from corona or not. But it's
Yeah, I
really
mean, people
cool.
are a lot more careful now. Like, people are very careful.
Yeah.
There are different opportunities, but a lot of things are.
Okay,
no, absolutely.
that's nice. That's amazing.
So the next question I want to ask you, Bella, is what is the biggest change you want to make in your voiceover career?
Like, for what I create, or
Yes.
change as a broad sense?
Well, of everything.
Okay, I've been getting into film acting, and I love that. Um, I've always wanted to teach. I really love the idea of inspiring other artists, uplifting other people. And right now, I'm actually kind of an embedded tutor of sorts at Closing Credits. So I lead mini classes and mini workshops there, and I just love being able to work and help other artists. So I'd love to continue to do that and be there for other people.
Well,
That's amazing.
If you have a talking to Lici about this off the air, I know we talked about this briefly. I do a lot of voiceovers for fun, so if you ever change your mind, I would love to work with you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Not to impose, I'm just saying. Because I know people who are in the industry only do paid work, but it's good exposure and it's good training. Also, you're just doing it for fun. And on the Keith Andrew Network, we have so many different varieties, different one-on-one interviews, group interviews, video challenges. But we can always get to that later on. But we see the next one I want to ask is the same question. What is the biggest change you want to make in your influence career?
Well, I actually going. I know I'm doing a lot of social media now, but I actually trying to go in at the same way I was with the modeling. I would love to work in more like I don't know this to say, more famous companies, clothes or things like that. But that will be amazing. Actually, it was a little challenge for me to working with L'Oreal when I wanted. It was a lot of people, women's, a lot full. And I had the lucky to like they like my speak, they like to like how I do with them, and they choose me, and it was an amazing opportunity. We traveled to Valencia, Spain, Madrid, and then we go to Malaga. We're going to 3 different places. I learned a lot with them. It was an amazing experience. And I would like to experience something like that, even if I know it does change from the coronavirus. Like now photographers are not as open as it was. I don't know why, but something else is there. And it's getting a little more difficult about some brands. but I would love to get something like that, and not just like a, let's say like a how you can say, not just like because I'm working in social media and I want to get paid, or no, it's more like a working with them, get like a some care with them, like actually, I don't know, being in internet or online with their clothes, and that's that's the job of photographer model. That will be amazing, something I would like, but it's something that I know I have to work hard for it, because obviously big brands don't choose you because yes, you have to be a little bigger and notorious, let's say, in internet or whatever. But that's one of my things. Another thing I'm doing now, but that's out from social media, is I'm trying to get to learn how to do how you say, like grooming for animals. I would love to work like that too. Grooming, yeah, I would love to do that, but it's still something I looking for doing and learn, or like I have the degree theme, but that's aside from like they say internet or no, like social media. But that's another thing I would like. If I can get the model, let's say procession, well, I'm going to the other way. I mean, I try to see what's going on, but there's the ways,
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually love to sing too. When I was a child, I was singing in the church choir. I was in the church choir singing for a long time, but I don't think I'm ready to sing or be a singer or anything like that. I don't do it anymore. So I take it more like a joy thing. But yeah, I had some things over there. I was doing it, but I try to see what's going on.
No, I agree. Now, Bella, the next two questions I want to ask you actually. The first one I want to ask you is, what are some of the best advice you have received for doing voiceovers? Was it from any actors? Was it for any inspiration that people gave you any advice? And what are some of your career highlights?
Ooh. One of my favorite pieces of advice I actually read in a blog, but it was a lot of actors tend to overthink. And when you're overthinking, like, do I sound good? Does this voice sound like the character? That it's not really acting. It's your head isn't in the character. But when you truly act, it can be so much fun. It's just remembering to have fun, and a lot of the choices will come to you that way. Some career highlights. Actually, the first video game I ever voiced in was for Crunchyroll Games. I did not expect to get that because it was during the pandemic, and
Okay.
I got to work with Bang Zoom Studios in LA, and I got to like call, and I had actually bought a bunch more for my recording setup then, and I got directed, and it was really cool. A lot of the castmates are my favorite voice actors, so that's my favorite.
No, absolutely. So the
That's amazing.
next subject I want to talk to you about, it's sports news. We cut out the last part. It's supposed to be just sports. I haven't found a green screen that says sports, so it's a sports news on it. But it's, I guess you can say it's news for anyone who didn't know anything about you guys. So, Lizzie, the first question I want to ask you, actually, just for both of you, what were some of your favorite sports growing up? And did you ever want to be a professional in them?
Well, I actually from Spain, so in Spain we play a lot of soccer, obviously, a lot of soccer, but I never actually see myself so much into it. And then later, when I was a kid, I did some class ballet. I did ballet from like maybe 5 years old to like I was 10 or 11, and I was love the dance. I was love dancing. I actually get some like how you say, bachata dancing Latino with some friend I have here in Texas. We make some classes and make some money about it, and people is really happy about it. We try to see if we can spend a little more between us, between the my friend and me, and making it. I actually like that too. But like actually sports. I'm not really into much sports. I can watch sports because I actually watch USC. I watch an American football, NFL and everything. But I'm not really good in actually playing a sport. But I actually like and enjoy to watching it. So because I actually been in America 7 years, and when I was the second year in here in the country, so many people teach me about a lot of sport American. And I love it, but I think it's watching it. I don't think I'm good about it. But sometimes I play a little basketball, I think. And it's cool, but I don't see myself too much into sports. I don't know.
What about you, Bella?
I'm I was never really a sports person growing up. I was always very much a theater kid. The only exceptions were, if you count it, I did a bunch of different kinds of dance, ballet, jazz, a little bit of tap, and I loved swimming. Like I would go to lakes and beaches for vacations, and I just really enjoyed learning different kinds of swimming.
A lot of people make fun of me for
That's
this,
amazing.
but I actually enjoyed making this into a subject because you look at so many talk shows, they ask the same questions. To know in the beginning who influenced you, how did you do this? And so I like
Yes.
to throw things out of left field. Of course, it's professional. I want people to get their minds out of the gutter because they like to ruin things for everyone. But the question I want to ask both of you is, you mentioned you're from Spain, and the one thing that pops in my mind is when I think about Spain is the human towers that they always do, the tradition. So the question I want to
Yes.
know from both of you, have any of you ever done a human pyramid? And would you be willing to do one?
I've been in Barcelona because I know they do it in Barcelona too. I've been I see them in person, very close to doing it, and it was incredible. I mean, they have an incredible, how you say, stability. But I never been into it. I think it will be kind of fun too. They're making it fun, but it really dangerous. I see in Spain there was one girl who was trying for first time in actually in the TV when they put it in live in TV, and she almost died because she almost broke her neck because she falling from the really tall from all the human. So it was a little concerning for me, and I finally never accepting because I'm from Barcelona too. But I think it's really amazing when they actually making it and you are in front of them and you that's almost, I know you guys not use metros, but it's almost 2 meters or something really, really tall. And I think it is, I see that in person, like I say, it's amazing how they do that, but I don't know. I don't think myself couldn't, I don't know. I'm a little afraid because of what happened before. So, but if you were to watch it in person, it's kind of shocking because they're making too fast that you don't realize almost. You are like, oh, wow, it's made it. Like they are there. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
What about you, Bella?
I think they look really cool. I have never really thought about it. If I got specific instructions, like this is what you do, this is how you stand, I would be down to
if you
try
have
it.
good, how you say, balance, if you have kind of good balance and you don't have a problem to scaling because you tiny or whatever, then you're gonna be good because they're making a fun actually. But I think that girl happened that thing, that little stuff, because she was really nervous, and then she was done she was a girl playing games. Actually, she don't do much in real life. She was all about games. So I think it was maybe she get too nervous and maybe don't get balance, obviously. But rarely people have actually a bad thing or never die nobody's from that, but it's really cool. I see that just one time I see in person, and it was really shocked me because like I told you, in less than 5 minutes they were made, and it was so tall, all from human beings, all persons, and it was incredible, really.
Well, for me, the human pyramids are so much easier because you're on your hands and knees and you're lower to the ground.
I mean, yeah,
The human towers,
you
they're
just have to
nice,
be
but
sure
they're more
nobody's
dangerous.
failing in the you have to be nobody's failing in the catch, let's say. So if they are all good, let's say a stone, hey, we are fixed, then nobody's gonna fall. It's actually amazing to see because I don't know, it's kind of cool. I never was here before, and I was being with my friends in Barcelona, and they were like, "Oh, they're actually doing now. You want to come and see them?" And I was like, "I always see them in TV, never in real life." So I see them, and I was like, "Wow, what the heck?" I was like, "Wow, that's amazing!" And it was just a thing, yeah. I was never seen before in person too, but it's Spain has some things like, it makes sense weird if you're not from Spain, but it's kind of cool once you know.
I love that
Yeah,
stuff. I'm a loser. So
you have to come to Spain and actually see.
so the next question I want to ask you, Bella, is how comfortable are you teaching other people voiceover work? Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think it cut out at the end.
How comfortable are you speaking? Sorry, it's it's the internet, so sometimes you get a good
Yeah.
connection. Or hopefully, our guests will come back in a couple minutes. But the question I
Mhm.
want to ask is, how comfortable are you teaching people with disabilities voiceover work?
Oh yeah, I actually a lot of my peers have more experience than I do, but it's something that I'd love to learn more about and something that I would love to be able to do better. Um, I know my friends have like certifications and more experience, but I hope with some training I'll be able to as well.
No, I agree. And for the record, you are a fantastic voiceover actress. I love your work. So the next
Thank you.
question, not kissing your butt or anything, but with that being said, what is your claim to fame?
Hmm. So a funny thing is, I didn't think I was going to get like a lot of similar roles, but I feel like a lot of roles I get are villains. Like a big percentage I get are very intimidating, um, imposing villainous characters, and then sometimes I'll get like a really tiny hero.
No, I agree with you, and I actually did message you. The reason I do group interviews is because I like to feel everyone's energies. And
Mm-hmm.
definitely, we will do a one-on-one interview. I don't know where Lici is. He should come back. I didn't get any invites. But what's the last question I want to ask you, then we got to take a quick commercial break and do the sit down. Last one I want to ask you is, who do you admire and why?
Hmm. Well, in general, my parents, because they're amazing artists in the voiceover industry, um, I think Christina V has this amazing, or Christina Valenzuela has this amazing range that I would love to be able to emulate. Like I've heard reels and I've been on a couple projects with her. Like my first video game role, Grand Alliance, we were both in that. But I would love to work on my range like that because it's impressive.
No, I agree. Now we're gonna do off the record when we come back. What's the sit down at KeithAndrewNetWork? Hopefully our guests will join us once again. But stay tuned from this quick commercial break. But wrapping up the interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege having you both of you with us, and I'm looking forward to part two down the road. So until we meet again, catch you later. Thank you,
All
and I'll
right,
talk to you
thanks.
soon.